Welcome to True Blue Politics Daily. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, and my name is
2026.
20, whatever. You just want to be a smarty pants, okay? Okay.
I know it's 2026.
Wow.
Wow, good for you.
Okay, today is
You
June
did.
17th, 2026.
Thank you.
My name is Anita,
And I'm
from
Karen.
and this is Karen, and we're going to talk about couch fuckers today.
Oh, and by couch fuckers, we mean JD
Jay
Vance
Vance.
and his his recent appearance on The View.
Yeah, and he was really a couch fucker on The
Oh my
View.
God,
Oh my
isn't
God.
he always? When is he
He
not a
really is.
couch fucker?
I know. I mean, normally people would just think, oh, that couldn't be true. I mean, honest, but with JD Vance, you're
Oh
like,
no, he's a
huh,
couch
he looks
fucker.
like a couch fucker.
He totally looks
He
like a
does.
couch
He really
fucker.
does.
He
If anybody looks like a couch fucker,
If
it's
there,
JD Vance.
I think if you look up couch fucker in the
It has a,
dictionary, it has a picture of JD Vance.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So he was on The View, and so we thought it would be fun. Fun. Yay.
Yay. Okay. No, we
Fun.
thought it would be
Wow.
torture.
Fun. Wow. We thought it
Wow.
would be super fun to go through and just kind of do a little commentary on
Mm.
the interview and JD's answers, and also,
Yep.
kind of add our own little, takes on stuff. So,
Yeah, because that's the only way we can take it because it is
oh,
just he is insufferable.
oh, he's such a fucking
Oh,
insufferable
he's such a
couch fucker. Oh,
douchebag.
by the way, okay, I was just watching because apparently at the G7 summit, I don't know if you saw this,
Oh yeah.
Trump gave his remarks and he basically threw JD Vance under the bus, saying that if the Iran deal, which it's not really a deal, fails, that it's JD's fault.
Yeah, well, that's the whole plan. That's why he's having JD Vance sign
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
This is what they're going to do
Oh
because
yeah.
Donald Trump certainly can't take responsibility for it because basically, probably he has no idea what's in
Mm-hmm.
it. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't really understand what's going
All
on.
he understands is ballroom.
Yeah, he knows ballroom and he used to have reflection pool, but the problem with
No.
his ideas is they never really work out the way he
Mm.
wants them to.
Mm-mm.
I mean, we can go into that later, but
Oh
it's
boy.
yeah.
That's a different
Anyways,
episode. Anyway,
that
without further ado,
yes. Without further ado, let's
here.
talk about
Okay.
the couch fucker in question.
Yeah, so here we go. I'm going to play this clip or start
Okay.
the interview.
For 29 seasons, this show has invited thousands of guests with all kinds of diverse points of view. And we have been asking our next guest to join us for a while now. So we're glad that he's taken us up on the offer today. Please welcome author of the new book, Communion, Finding My Way Back to Faith, the Vice President of the United States, J.D.
Oh,
Vance.
please. I mean, I can't even listen to this applause. I cannot.
I know. It's so canned, and not everybody is applauding, by the way.
Well, if you've ever been
There's
in
like a couple
studio
of people.
audiences,
Yeah.
those studio audiences usually they have a bunch of people.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
and it lights up applause.
Oh yeah. No, they prep them. They prep prime the audience for
I
it.
know.
And let me just tell you, there are a lot of people not clapping here.
I was surprised at how tall you were. He's very
If you
tall.
only see somebody on TV, you just see their, in my case, giant head. So
We all
it hides how
have
tall I am.
giant heads,
That's
yeah.
right.
We are the,
Oh, he's
we are
so
the table of big
self-
heads here.
Self-deprecating.
So this is a
Alyssa-
show of MAGA Republicans, right? That's
Yeah,
what my
right,
media
yes.
team told me? Okay, good.
Oh, he's so funny.
We'll find out. I think you have the first question, Alyssa.
Yes, Mr. Vice President, thank you for being with us. Now, you came into office with clear momentum, but when I talk to my friends and family who supported you and the president and still support you and the president, one issue comes up time and time again, and it's the economy. Inflation's up, wages are down, gas prices are starting to drop at news of this Iran deal, which we will get to.
Sure.
What can you say to voters who trusted you to lower costs on day one, and will they be satisfied by November?
Well, I think that's ultimately up to the voters, right? I think voters have every right to expect as much as possible out of their elected representatives. We certainly know that we were elected on a number of mandates. One was to close the border, which I think we've done successfully, exceeded expectations there. Number two was to lower prices, and there's a lot of work to do, in large part because of what's happened over the last few months in the Middle East. But as you said, Oil, which got up to $120 a barrel, now is at $80 a barrel. That's going to be reflected in lower fuel, lower food, lower energy prices. But there's a lot more work to do. The thing that I'm proudest about most, because as some of you may know, I grew up in one of these towns that was forgotten by the leaders in
No, he
Washington.
didn't. He grew up in a suburb of Cincinnati.
So
He's lying. That's
he's
all
lying.
bullshit.
That's a lie.
Yeah, he wasn't a hillbilly.
No.
He grew up in and I, it's true. I think it was his grandmother was like a meth head. Not yeah, she was addicted to hydrocodone. Yeah, not meth.
Not meth.
And
Okay.
yeah, and she was a nurse or something. She stole it. There was so he has a shady background, but I mean, not that everybody's family doesn't have,
Everybody has something.
everybody
in their
has,
family.
yeah, exactly. But what he's done is turned his back on the people that he says he cares about.
Oh, sure. That he's a part of.
Yeah, well, he's a part of, but this whole idea that he's from Appalachia,
Yeah.
that he's just this poor white kid that came from Appalachia,
Pulled himself up by the bootstraps.
Exactly, is bullshit.
That's
So,
bullshit. And it's been debunked. So here.
Yes, it's been debunked.
Is that you're seeing, that's Middletown, Ohio. That's my hometown in southwestern Ohio. It was a proud steel town. I was raised by a grandfather who was a union steel worker. Is that those jobs disappeared. Those factories closed down. The thing that I'm most excited about is you do see a large amount of capital investment coming into our country. Factories being built, construction jobs are way.
No, they're not. We're losing manufacturing jobs. I mean, how many, like 100,000 we've lost since Donald Trump has been president? This time.
Yep.
Joe Biden was the manufacturing president.
Yes.
We got he created like 850,000 manufacturing jobs because he actually had legislation that created these jobs, that created this manufacturing boom, like the the Inflation Reduction Act and the green energy and all that stuff, the CHIPS Act, the infrastructure. All these things were so important. What has Donald Trump done to bring back manufacturing? Tariffs? That's actually killed manufacturing.
Right. And the job, exactly. And certainly isn't creating and is actually killing manufacturing, and the tariffs that and now this war with the Strait of Hormuz being closed and fertilizer costs going up and shortages for the farmers, and so they're all of this
They were
stuff.
already screwed. They were already screwed even before the war, so this even just made it worse. And you know what? They act like, oh, well, you know what? This was just a little detour.
Sure.
A little detour.
How many?
Well, you know what? People's lives actually got destroyed.
Right. And I'm sorry, what was the amount that he sent over to Argentina?
Oh, 40 billion.
40 billion.
Yeah, 40 billion.
To
I think
Argentina.
it was 20 billion initially. And also there was a lot of things with Argentina. Yeah, we loaned Argentina like $40 billion. So, I mean, and just nothing he's saying is...
And basically to take money out of the pockets of our farmers here.
What? Oh, you're talking about the thing about the, no, you're talking about the soybean.
Yeah.
Things.
Yes.
Yeah, that had to do with the tariffs.
Right.
And then there was we started buying beef from Argentina.
Yes.
Which hurt the ranchers. I mean, these people, everything they do, and none of it is beneficial. This is America alone. America last, really.
Right. Yeah.
Anything because for Donald Trump, it's all transactional. He doesn't give a crap about America.
No.
Or about benefiting or that we, putting Americans first or thinking about how this is going to affect Americans. Ever.
No. And this, these Republicans in this Epstein class, all they care about is using America as a piggy bank for themselves. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, he just, for example, Argentina, that guy was a buddy of his, that Malay or whatever his name is. And he liked him because he's another right-wing nut job. And so he loaned him $20 billion to help him get elected, and then $20 billion more.
Right.
To put into their economy to try to prop him up so he could get reelected.
Yep.
So, I mean, none of what he's saying is all bullshit. All this stuff, when he's just repeating this stuff, it's just all the same crap you heard on their campaign.
Yeah, canned. Yeah. Yep, exactly. Okay, here we go.
up. Manufacturing jobs are starting to catch up. So there's a lot more work to do. I think that we're making progress, but ultimately we're going to make our pitch to the voters in November, and they're the ones who get to decide whether we've done a good job or not, and that's how they're going to vote.
Okay. So President Trump has called a...
And when they
No
lose,
applause there.
and when they lose, they're going to claim that it was rigged.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're already setting that up.
Yes,
I mean, look what's
Affordability
happening with
hope.
California.
exactly. Here we go.
He said that, not me. He's
Let me
pouring
back
money
it up
into
for a
this
second.
ballroom.
To the voters in November, and they're the ones who get to decide whether we've done a good job or not, and that's how they're going to vote.
Okay. So President Trump has called
Okay.
affordability a hoax. He said that, not me. He's pouring money into this ballroom of his and the reflecting pool. Oh, don't forget the Arch de Trompe, I call it, and a White House cage match. All these things. Why is he doing them when you just, everybody knows that Americans are struggling? What is he spending all this money for?
Well, I got to defend the president on the hoax point. What the president said is the idea that Republicans caused the affordability problem.
No, that's not what he said. Okay. No, that is not what he said. He's repeated it over and over again. Affordability is a hoax. He ran on affordability,
Yes, he
first of
did.
all. And now that he's doing nothing about affordability, he used it as a marketing tool, right?
Yeah.
And then now when prices are continuing to go up, not continuing, actually they were going down under Biden, inflation was going down,
Right.
right?
Right.
And now that it's going back up again under Donald Trump because of his policies, it's a hoax.
Yes. Yes.
You know, this is
Right.
just, oh God, this
Shit.
it's all bullshit. You know what? You can tell he practices stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. It's just, so smart.
It's so rehearsed. Yeah.
So rehearsed. Okay, here we go.
A hoax. And I think that's true. If you go back to the Biden administration, inflation got up to 9%.
Why
Yes,
was it
it did.
9%? Why was it 9%?
It was because we were coming out of COVID, which is a global pandemic, which caused supply chain shortages. And when we came out of COVID, there was pent up demand. And so, of course, and not enough of the products. There was, like I said, a supply chain shortages. So inflation, of course, increased. It increased globally.
Yes.
But Biden was able to control inflation and bring it down faster than any other developed country. So, I mean,
We're the envy of the world.
We had, our economy was booming.
Yes,
we had inflation.
an economist called it not only a soft landing, but a miracle.
A miracle, Goldilocks landing.
Yep. Yep.
So, just right.
Okay. Yep. And I'm glad we're doing this because seriously. Okay, here we go.
I know.
Under the Biden administration. Okay. Right now it's at 3.5%. By the way, too high. We're doing everything.
It's 4.2%, by the way.
Yep.
He's lying.
He's lying.
To bring it back down to 2.5%, which is where most people would like to see it.
It was 2.9 when they took office.
Yep.
So Biden left it at 2.9%, and it was going down.
Yes. And then
then it went
was
up
the
because,
situation in the first term, they inherited
they inherited a booming economy. He rode the Obama economy and then started screwing it up with his stupid tariffs. And you know, because you experienced it personally where you worked. And then COVID hit. And of course, everybody blames all of that. We were losing manufacturing jobs. We were going into a manufacturing recession, and everything got blamed on COVID. COVID was actually the best thing that happened to Trump because he could blame all the crap on COVID.
Yes. Yes. And then he again, now they're exploiting the effects of COVID, you know, the fact that there was 9% inflation. And they're trying, and they get to try and, they get to try and spin it and pin it on Biden. And because we have a fucked up and feckless mainstream media that does not ever call that shit out.
Well, what bothered me the most, yes, they never call it out. And what bothered me the most was they just kind of let Donald Trump be excused for all the economic problems we had under Trump because of COVID. But yet Biden, who inherited that, and inflation was a direct result of COVID, he never got that kind of benefit. He didn't get that. He couldn't use it. They never excused it.
Never.
They never said, "Oh, well, you know, COVID." They never did that.
Never ever. Never ever. Okay, here we.
And nobody can ever point to any policy. What Biden had, there were no policies that caused inflation to go up. Donald Trump's policies have caused this.
Yes, exactly. And the Republican policies.
Well, yeah, the Republicans have gone along with it. That's for damn
Yes.
sure. They don't have any legislation to speak of, except that
don't.
awful
Giving tax cuts.
Yeah, tax cuts for the rich again, which is what Republicans do every time they're in office.
Every time. Okay, here we go.
An affordability problem. We're doing a lot to make it better. It's going to take
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
a little bit of
What
time.
are they
There's
doing?
a lot more work.
There's gonna be,
What are they doing? Do you know what they always point to? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
This just makes me so mad.
no,
I can't-
I know. Here, let's let it ride a little.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
To do, but the president knows that a lot of Americans are struggling. In fact, he ran
He doesn't give a fuck.
He
that they're
ran. He
struggling.
doesn't give a fuck. He said it. I don't
said
care
it.
about their financial
He does
situations.
not care.
I don't care at all.
Yeah. Here,
I don't think about it.
No, here
Yeah.
we go.
on that. He talked about it, and we've done some things and made some good progress on that point.
Just said he loves the inflation.
Thank you.
What he said, Anna, what he said is
Oh my
that
God, here we
he
go.
loves the fact that the inflation is going to come down.
No, he didn't.
When this
That's
war
not
is
what he
over.
said.
That's what he said.
That's not what he said.
Are you
And by the way,
interpreter or are you his vice president?
Oh, did you hear that?
yeah, I heard
She said,
that.
"Are you his interpreter, or
is
the vice president?"
But also, he loved that inflation was going to go down. What about the effects that inflation had on people's lives?
Yeah.
You know, it actually cost us money. Maybe you rich billionaires.
He said,
don't-
"Stop talking about affordability."
Yeah,
Stop talking about it.
he said he didn't care about our financial situations.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
I can't hardly get through this.
I know. Just here.
I don't know how we're going to
You know
finish
what?
this.
Yeah. Good thing you have your blood pressure medication.
I know. I'm glad I took that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the
Let's go.
president said it. People were asking about the inflation. They were asking about the affordability problem, which again is very real. And what he said is, I love the inflation because it's going to come down when the war is over. And now, again, we already see gas prices today, $4.06 a gallon, too high, but way down from where they were just a couple of
They were under $3 here. Now they are at $4.69.
And you know what the thing is? I know he caused this problem.
Yes.
This just makes me so angry because it was so unnecessary.
Yep.
So we went to war with Iran. We lost. We got
Mhm.
nothing out of it.
Mhm.
Now Donald Trump is even backtracking from stopping them from getting nuclear weapon
Mhm.
and seizing the uranium, the enriched
Yep.
uranium. He's like, oh, it's not really that important. Blah blah blah. So I mean, none of this. We gained nothing from it. As a matter, Iran gained a lot from it.
Oh,
we
yeah.
gained nothing. So what did we do this for? So when he
Exactly.
says, so we're just gonna, pretend that, oh well, now see, but prices are gonna go down. You caused this problem.
Exactly.
Once again,
Exactly.
this is what he does. He sets the fire, and he
Mhm.
wants
He's the
credit.
arsonist, and then
He's
he
the
puts it puts out the fire, and he wants
These
credit for putting out the
ashes.
fire. Exactly. All right, here we go.
the house is still burned
Yes,
down.
there's a lot-
Okay.
Okay.
Again, there's a lot we got to do, but I think that we're doing as much as we can. We're going to keep on working at it. And again, the American people are going to make their verdict. But I think that we have a very credible case to run on, that we brought a lot of new investment. We're building the factories. That is going to pay serious dividends for
You
the
know what they're
American
building?
people.
I'm sorry, I can't. You know what they're building? Data centers.
Yes.
They're building.
Yes.
They're not building factories.
No,
they're building
which are
data
having
centers.
devastating impact on the
On
surrounding
communities.
communities
Mhm.
and environment.
And
the
increasing
environment.
that's right, on the environment and increasing.
And they're spending billions on ballroom, on the reflecting pool, and this war, giving money to Iran, giving
they're
money. Yeah.
everything. I mean, just even the little things, millions of dollars here, millions of dollars there, like that
Mhm.
stupid flyover, like the honor guard.
Mhm.
All these things cost money, and he doesn't care. It's
No.
other people's money.
He doesn't give a shit. It's our money.
Yeah,
It's our money.
it's our
Okay.
money.
Yep,
Yeah.
Here we go.
For the long haul.
When?
Well, Joy, if you look at manufacturing jobs,
Yeah, okay.
those jobs are increasing at a large number.
No, they're
Construction
not.
jobs are doing a little bit better. So what happens is
Nope.
the construction jobs to
Construction
build
of
the
data
factories and then
centers.
they manufacture.
Yep,
No,
exactly.
what he's talking about, he's just fucking lying, and it makes me angry because we're watching these women who are not really. They're this
Anna
is the
Navarro. Anna
this is.
Navarro knows her
I
stuff.
know she knows, but this is the View, okay? It's
Mhm.
not Meet the Press, even though Meet the Press sucks too.
Well, they suck.
But I mean, seriously, I could do a better job.
Yep, yep. Well, here, let's see, and then, we can kind of, add some stuff because they do push back. The more this goes on, they do push back, but definitely there are holes in, how they push back. Hold on one second, though.
Manufacturing workers go back to work. That also leads to rising wages. That's one of the things that I'm very proud of. Is if you look at the amount that wages are going up now compared to say 2022, they're going up way faster. That's a
No,
good
they're
thing.
not.
No.
He's lying again. Inflation is going up faster than wages, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That we know. So what I mean, everything he's talking about, there are some residual effects from the Biden administration, which are still helping him out
Mm-hmm.
because they're still building. There's some infrastructure projects and there's some stuff from the Chips and Science Act that were basically there are Republican districts
Mm-hmm.
that were benefited from it that are stopping Donald Trump from destroying it completely.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he could have just taken the Biden economy, gone and played golf all day and rode the Biden economy, and everybody would have thought, oh well, he's doing a great job. But no, he had to go and fuck it up because that's what he does, and that's what he's doing. And so all this stuff
So
that
this is USA Facts. I just looked this up. Okay.
okay,
Vice President J.D. Vance's claim that worker wages are going up requires context, as it relies on nominal gains while often ignoring that inflation has largely wiped out those increases. While nominal wages, literal dollars, have grown, real wages, purchasing power adjusted for inflation, have been essentially flat or have declined due to the recent surge in consumer prices.
yeah, I know,
Mhm.
and employment is down. I mean, all these
If
things.
wages are going up, why aren't people feeling it, Anita?
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
They never asked that.
Yeah, they never ask
Now,
that.
but
Mhm.
also they did have a good jobs report for once, not
Mhm.
negative, I mean.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Right.
they got like which I mean, Biden was creating over 200,000 jobs almost every month,
Mhm.
but they got, I don't remember what it was, like 140,000 maybe.
Mhm.
And I'm sure it will go, they'll uh they'll, what do they call it, revise it down, because
Yeah.
they usually do. But most of those jobs were because we have the World Cup
Yeah.
going on right
Right. So
now.
they're going to go away.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
going to go away. They're temporary.
Yeah. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that over recent 12-month periods, real average hourly earnings have often experienced negative or fractional net growth.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
it just,
Okay. Yeah, no, this is good we're doing this because listen, this is important to give these facts while we're going along here.
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
The affordability problem. Again, gas, way too high right now. Certain things way too high. Rents have been either flat or down for 12 months now. So they're
Oh, no, check that out. I don't
Yep,
believe that.
not true. Not true.
Mm-mm.
Here, let me see.
You're a
Oh,
realtor.
yeah. Oh no, I mean I can tell you no.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? I don't even have to look it up. That's not true.
I
I don't even know why
know
I'm looking it up. It's
that's your
not true.
business.
It is not true. They're not going down. Yes.
there are
I
things
mean,
that are
ask
showing
anybody
signs.
looking for
No,
a
and
place to
here's the
live.
thing. You've got all of these private equity companies buying up properties and then turning into landlords. And, they're profit. They're for profit. They're
I
not
know.
looking, you know what I mean? They're
Well,
not,
and they don't have any solutions for this problem
no,
because we need more housing.
mm-hmm, exactly. Here we go.
Signs of life, things that are showing signs of progress. My view, I'm sure you guys don't agree with it, is that we inherited a mess and we're
No, you
fixing
didn't.
it.
No,
But
you
sometimes it
didn't.
takes a
You
long time to
inherited a
fix a
booming
mess.
economy, an historically strong economy. That's what they inherited. You can look it up from The Economist or the Wall Street Journal. They
Mm-hmm.
inherited a historically strong economy.
Yes.
Inflation was going down. It was at 2.9%. GDP growth was high. Um, we had manufacturing jobs were booming. I mean, there were so many good things happening. He is just
Mm-hmm.
full of shit. This is the line that bothers me the most because they inherited a strong economy that was just going to get stronger, but they fucked it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Here. Okay. I'm gonna just see what
He said the same thing about Obama's economy when he
Mhm.
inherited a great economy then.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. The claim that Donald Trump inherited a bad economy is false. Economic indicators show that the economy handed over by the previous administration was stable and growing rather than a catastrophe. The unemployment rate was approximately 4.1%, representing one of the lowest marks in decades. Inflation was hovering at a stable 3%. High inflation rates did not hit until much later during the pandemic. Economic growth, the gross domestic product, GDP, annual growth was steady, clocking in at around 2.5% prior to the transition of power. Economists and fact checkers widely agree that the incoming Trump administration inherited a strong economic foundation. For more detailed breakdown here. Anyway.
And Biden inherited a
Mhm.
financial mess,
Collapse.
a collapse because of COVID and because of his mishandling of it.
As did Obama
And
from
Obama,
Bush
yeah,
Cheney.
that's what, yeah, Republicans
This is
always
what
hand over a
happens.
horrible
It's
economy.
pay attention, people. There is
Yeah,
a pattern here.
pattern.
Yeah.
Yes. It's pretty obvious,
It's
honestly.
pretty obvious, unless
Yeah.
you're full on in the freaking cult, drinking the Kool-Aid, with your heads up Donald Trump's ass and the Republicans' ass, then you would know this. But here we go. All right, I'm going to play some more.
Sonny.
Okay. Mr. Vice President, according to a new report from the New York Times, you were the leading voice behind the scenes to release the Epstein files, and we applaud you for that. And you warned
geez.
top officials,
right.
including top DOJ officials, at strategy meetings taking place inside the Situation Room. We understand that there are tapes of those meetings, that this was a huge problem for the base. The report says you even floated having Tucker Carlson interview Ghislaine Maxwell to clear the president's name, but you were rebuffed by your people.
Okay, wait a minute. Just stop right there. He was going to have Tucker Carlson interview Ghislaine Maxwell. That's what he thought would clear Trump's name. Ghislaine Maxwell wasn't going to clear Trump's name. Okay, the fact that he thought that. I mean, this is the problem with him. He is just there's so many problems with him. First of all, he does. I mean, for him to think that Tucker Carlson, who's a fucking neo-Nazi anyway, interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell,
Right.
was going to clear Donald Trump's name.
Yeah. Right.
I think he's just trying to cover his ass.
Of course he is. Of course he is. So here we go.
Why?
Well, I'd say, first of all, don't believe everything that you read in any newspaper, whether it's a right-leaning paper or a left-leaning paper, because as you guys know, well, there are things that are true, things that are false, and things that are totally missing context. Well, here's what I'll say. So, number one, I am, frankly, kind of a conspiracy theory on the Epstein stuff, and that story says that that's one of the things that's true, is that some people called me a conspiracy theory on the Epstein stuff.
See, this is why he's weird.
Theorist on the Epstein stuff, because I think that it's crazy that you had this guy who is clearly a sex predator who was hanging out with a lot of very wealthy and powerful people. Like, that really bothered me. I don't know what's there, of course. Nobody knows exactly what happened unless you were there, but that really bothered me, and I wanted to have full transparency. What I disagree with is the idea that the White House wasn't committed to full transparency. We have to remember, like, I was inside the room when some of these decisions were made. The Epstein Files Transparency Act, the one that the president signed, the one that led to all these files that we're seeing, the emails. By the way, again, sorry, Joe, I do have to defend my boss. I know you guys don't always appreciate this, but, you know, one of the things you see in the Epstein emails...
Okay, they were never committed to full transparency. No. Donald Trump tried to stop it. He brought Lauren Boebert into the Situation Room and tried to bully her into not voting for that legislation to release the files, and he couldn't. I mean, look what Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's talked about the phone calls they had, right?
Yep.
So I mean, he's full of shit. This whole thing. They were in this. He knows that Donald Trump was forced to sign that because if he tried to veto it, first of all, it would look terrible, and second of all, they would have overridden the veto.
Yep. All right. So here, let's let this run a little bit because you're going to see some pushback here.
Is that Jeffrey Epstein hated Donald Trump. and that Donald Trump literally reported Jeffrey Epstein to the police.
Okay,
That's
but
one of the
they
things
were-
that
they
came
were-
out of
Okay.
these
They were
files.
best
Wait,
friends
hold on.
for about a decade. And remember, he signed that Transparency Act under duress when some Republican women, congresswomen like Lauren Boebert, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, did not give in to his pressure of not signing. He brought Lauren Boebert into the Situation Room to pressure her into caving on not voting for that bill.
So let me respond to that. So
That's all true.
Let me respond to that. So number one is, yes, Donald Trump, and he said this, he knew Jeffrey Epstein back in the 1980s. He also threw Jeffrey Epstein out of his club
Wait,
hold on.
and reported him to the police. That's something that the media often misses when it reports this story. They tell the fact that they knew each other in the 80s, which the president himself admits. They ignore the fact that
I get, okay. But he keeps saying they knew each other in the 80s. He's doing that on purpose. They were hanging out in the 90s,
Yes.
okay, and
Yes.
the 2000s. They may have met in the 80s, but they were hanging out throughout the 90s and the early 2000s. When he talks about him turning Jeffrey Epstein in, he's talking about a phone call Donald Trump made when he knew there was an investigation going on.
When he knew
and
there was an investigation, he was pissed off at him about a real estate
No,
deal.
no. He was trying to cover himself because he had been hanging out with him and they were investigating it. And he knew everything that was going on there. And he knew there was heads were going to roll, right? So he wanted to get ahead of that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, here.
narked on him to the police and led ultimately to Jeffrey Epstein's downfall. To that point, Anna, you know the Republican Party. Well, it's one of the things that led to law enforcement investigation. But on the point that you
And
made,
it was allegedly over a real estate deal that they got into a fight over.
but the email says
And
actually
they didn't just know each other. Let's just be truthful and transparent here. They didn't just know each other.
He's in a lot of
They were
pictures.
incredibly close friends.
he reported him to the police. That's what I'm saying. That is
saying
objective.
that.
That is objectively true. But Anna made,
Continue.
but Anna made another point that I think I would be if I may,
No,
because
go
Anna made
ahead.
a very important point. This question about did Donald Trump release these files only under duress from Republicans?
He's trying to change
And,
the subject
Anna,
here.
you know the
Because-
Republican Party
because-
probably.
Donald, what about the birthday card? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When was that? 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When he said, he
Very
said,
something secret.
wonderful secrets.
Wonderful
Yeah.
secrets. Yeah.
Let every day be another wonderful secret, beautiful
Mhm.
secret, or something like that.
Mhm. Yep.
I mean, and he did that interview in 2002 when he said, "Oh, Jeffrey Epstein, he's a great guy. I know he likes women on the younger side.
Right.
You know, we have a lot in common." That's
Yep.
another thing he said in that
Yep.
on that birthday. We have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just this is such bull, and I've heard this before because he did call the police after everybody knew there was an investigation going on. He was trying to protect himself
Yep.
because he was in on the crime.
Yes. Yes. 100%. 100%. And he ran. And by the way, he ran on releasing the Epstein files.
right. That's
He
right.
ran on it.
And he knew
okay?
he was. What he did, I think, was he put the people that like Cash Patel,
Mhm.
Dan Bongino, right?
Mhm.
Pam Bondi, who was also involved
Yes.
very involved in all this.
And the sweetheart deal that Epstein got in Palm Beach.
In Florida, yes.
Mhm.
So I mean, he surrounded himself with all these people, and even in his first term, he did this.
Mhm.
He surrounded himself. I mean, look at the people that he appointed and how many ties there are to Jeffrey Epstein.
Mhm.
And the people that were calling for it, like Cash Patel, even J.D. Vance, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, he wanted to keep them close to him
Yep.
to protect himself.
Yes. Yes. You're right. You're right. It was so obvious. Okay, so here, I'm going to let this play. We're at about a half hour now on our recording. So here.
Better than I do. The idea that Donald Trump runs around afraid of Republican congressmen as opposed to the other way around is kind of crazy.
What was the bipartisan, though? It was Republicans and Democrats.
Isn't that an admission? What a bunch of wimps. Like basically he's saying that the Republicans are afraid of Donald Trump. He just said that.
They're afraid of being primary. They're not really. They're afraid of his base.
Yeah. Oh
That's who
yeah,
they're
of course, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like either way, it's like seriously, they're
But
more
that's-
because so everything that they're doing is because they're afraid. Let's just say for a minute, Anita, that they're afraid of Donald Trump. Okay, let's just say that they're afraid of Donald Trump. Hello, Is that's a reason for people to vote because people can't stand up to Donald Trump? Like that should be a reason not to vote for Republicans because they don't care about the constituents. They're not there to serve people. They're
Right.
there because they're there and all they're not doing things and they're not holding this being a check on the executive because they're afraid of him. Why the fuck would anybody in their right mind want those kinds of people there representing them?
And in the midterms, I'm sure that's going to be on people's minds because they want to have a
Yes.
check on him. But also, it's telling. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're afraid of him, but really, with who they're afraid of is his base,
Yep.
and that's why they voted to release the Epstein files.
And by the
Because
way,
his
yeah,
base wanted them. It
that's
wanted them
right.
released.
But with all of the fuckery and not releasing all of them and then releasing the names of the victims, now they've pissed off another section of their base. So they're losing their base with this shit.
Yeah, well,
They-
definitely. Well, not all of them. Let me tell you, some of them
Not
are just
all-
making
no,
excuses
you're right.
and we'll
Yeah.
never believe any of this, no
Yep.
matter how.
No,
If they,
100%. But there are definitely some that have, I mean, Marjorie and, the people that, anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play.
Because the Republicans control the House and the Senate, particularly the Senate, you need the Republican sign off. What the president
Right.
did.
And if it doesn't happen, it's because the Republicans aren't willing to do it.
what
Sign off on shit. I mean, he's basically saying the reason it wasn't getting, you need the Republicans to sign off it. It can't be just the Democrats doing it. They need Republicans to do it.
But in this case, the base wanted the files released. Well, I don't remember.
Yes.
The poll was like 90% of
And
Americans
we still
wanted.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh,
So they're not afraid of him. They're afraid of
No.
the base. Is my point. Yeah.
yep.
It is. Look, I will say this again. I was in there in the meetings. He was very frustrated that the Democrats were making this about him when he's like, "Look, I threw the guy out of my club.
No, they weren't.
I am the guy who reported him to the police, or one of the
They're
people who
making
reported
it
him
about.
to the police."
They're not. They never made it about him.
No.
The problem was he's all over the files.
That's
He's
right.
all over the files.
Over 1 million, more than Jeffrey Epstein is mentioned in the files.
And if he wanted them released, he could release them.
Yes,
he
if
could
he's
have them released
innocent,
immediately.
As with everything, your tax returns, all of it. If there's nothing, if you've done nothing wrong, if you were completely innocent, why aren't you releasing everything? Why are you, why aren't, but he
Why are you
said
playing these
specifically,
games?
exactly. And he specifically said to Marjorie Taylor Greene that his friends will get hurt.
Why did he call it a hoax? Why did he say
Right.
that anybody that believes this is stupid?
Right.
After he ran on it.
Exactly. If you're innocent, if there's nothing, Bill Clinton went and testified under oath.
That's right.
Hillary Clinton went and
Went and
testified under oath.
testified.
Why the fuck isn't Melania Trump offering to testify under oath? Why isn't Donald Trump offering to testify under oath?
Melania Trump actually knew Jeffrey
She
Epstein
knew him.
and
There's-
was good friends
Yeah.
with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Unlike
and now,
Hillary Clinton.
who didn't even know him and never met him.
Right.
So, yeah.
Here we go.
The president was frustrated about that, absolutely. But he
He was
eventually came to
frustrated
say,
he was
you know
getting
what?
busted.
Let's just get everything out there. Let's have this out in the public. And he actually called the senators. I was there. He called the senators and said, you know what? Pass this bill, I'll sign it. And that was it.
Well, then let me follow up briefly. Let me
okay.
follow up
Here, hold on.
briefly.
Yes.
It sounds like you believed that there would be men in the files who would be held accountable. Rightfully so. And the American people are with you on this. Why haven't we seen the release of over 2.5 million additional Epstein file documents? It seems like you are someone that is on the right side of history on this.
So we've released, I think it's 6 million files or 6 million pages of documents. My understanding is the 2.5 million, Sonny. I'm going to check on this to make sure. But
Here's the thing.
Look that up. How many files have been released?
Let's see. Here's the thing, though. If he is so on top of this, why is he fuzzy about the details?
Oh, I know. He doesn't. No, he's not on top of this. Everything
No.
he says is bullshit. These conversations, these fabricated conversations he has with Donald Trump. I notice this all with everybody in his cabinet. Donald Trump is very concerned about this. We're on the phone all the time. He's talking about infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. No, he's not. He's talking about ballroom. He's
Right.
talking about reflection pool. He's talking about the UHC. Listen to him when he's talking to Macron at the G7. What is he talking about? Oh, congratulations on your fighter. Did you watch that? I mean, he starts talking about the UFC. Is it UFC at the G7, and they're looking at him like, "What are we doing here?"
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, they're just giving me, let's see, 2.5 million. Let's see. How many have they
He
actually?
said they released 6 million, and we got 2.5. I think
Mhm.
he's released half. I can't remember the numbers now.
Yep.
They were supposed to release all of them.
Yep.
They passed the deadline long time ago
Yep.
to release
Yep.
all of them.
Yeah.
And they weren't supposed to be redacted the way they were. And instead of redacting the victims' names, they
Yep.
were redacting the perpetrators' names.
Yep. Yep. Okay, let me see. I'm just here we go. Hold on. Okay, so this is okay, according to press releases, public the specific numbers, this is from the DOJ.
No, not
Well,
the DOJ.
hold on. Let me just go through here and see. So, total pages released, nearly 3.5 million pages have been published. This includes an initial rollout in late 2025, followed by a massive single-day dump of over 3 million pages on January 30th. Media trove exactly 2,000 videos and approximately 180,000 images were made public alongside the document. The 6 million discrepancy, federal investigators initially identified roughly 6 million pages as potentially responsive to the Epstein Files Transparency Act. However, the DOJ clarified, yeah, well, they're lying.
Yeah, it's from the DOJ. That's what I said. Yeah.
So, yeah, millions of Jeffrey Epstein files released. Yeah, but I mean, there are so many that were not. So they have not released all the files. And
No, we know that.
I'm going to let this play because he talks about this.
My understanding is that a lot of those are duplicates of things that have already been released.
So then
We're not
release them, but
holding,
we're not
we're
gonna
not,
have
So
any
then
we're not,
release
we're not
them,
holding
she says.
anything back. Some of those things are like the courts have to order you to release them. So that was one thing that we confronted. You talk about
No.
No.
He's
No. They were ordered to be released, all of them.
and the only thing that was not allowed was the grand jury testimony.
Right.
And there was they had those released too. I think there was like a Florida judge that said no, we can release those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
so it's a cover up. They're covering this up. It's
we
obvious.
we know there's a cover up. They met in the Situation Room
Yes.
to discuss the cover up and figure
Yep.
out which how to
handle it, how to
handle-
spin
yeah.
it. Everybody get on the same page. Okay, here.
Situation Room meetings is, there's a big bunch of files that existed, I think, in the Southern District of New York, or maybe it was some other jurisdiction.
fuzzy.
But we
He
were like,
doesn't
we
know.
want to release these files, but you need the court approval in order to release the files. Sometimes we would apply to release the files, and the courts would say no. So those particular documents, I would need to
That's a
actually
lie.
know exactly
Yeah,
what you're
let's-
talking
I'm
about.
gonna keep it
1.5
rolling
million
for time.
documents were released, and my understanding is 2.5 million have not been
Those
released.
may have been the ones that are under court. So I don't know what the documents
Can I
you're
ask you
talking
something?
about, but I'm
Well,
telling you,
that's
Let me go to
we're.
break.
Oh my God.
Sure.
Let me go to break.
We have plenty
Because
of
people
time.
are looking.
They're not on. No, they're no. Just no.
You know what? We probably won't finish this. Maybe we could finish the end of it tomorrow when we start. When we talk about the Obama library because it
Mhm.
might not take up the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. But because honestly, there's just it's just a stream of bullshit.
So we have 7 more minutes of this. So if we can just, I'm just gonna play.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
And we can finish it. We're gonna get through it here. And it's gonna be a little bit longer today, but I think it's worth it.
We are back with Vice President J.D. Vance. Sarah, you got the question.
Yes, Mr. Vice President, in your new book, Communion, you write about your personal evolution with faith from evangelical.
Yeah, we can skip this. Anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say this is going to be so much bullshit. I
this is
can't
gonna be so
hardly
much-
stand it.
I can hardly stand it. How much bullshit this is going to be. Yeah. So they moved on from it. Anyway, it just.
You know what? He's just so smarmy and condescending and he's just unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much good it does this tour because then just people get to see how unlikable he is.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be polite. I get that. But, they don't want to seem like they're attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
But just the way he was talking to them, like, and just and it's so disrespectful to lie like that
Oh my
to
God,
people.
just on and on and on.
Yeah. Yep.
Complete lies. Oh.
Oh, God, I think he's so dangerous. I think he's more dangerous than Donald Trump because Donald Trump's an idiot. And
Mm-hmm.
everything, and look what he's doing. He's working on the ballroom and the
Mm-hmm.
reflecting pool and his stupid arch and what else? He's and the before the Kennedy Center and all these other things that don't really matter. I mean, we can always fix those, right?
Mm-hmm.
He, but I think JD Vance would be far more dangerous because he's smarter,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's younger.
Yeah. No, I mean that, and again, and like we talked about this, if all things are equal, right? Like let's say that, there's no, fuckery, voter suppression, all of this, the attack on voting rights and, this the effects of Project 2025 on people's right or ability to vote. Let's just say that there's none of that. Okay, then I'm not worried about JD Vance because JD Vance does not have a cult following. But with everything that has been done, in light of everything that's been done, that's what makes me terrified of JD Vance.
Yeah, that is terrifying. I
Right.
mean, there's going to be some fuckery. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I know right now, and we need to have a whole daily show about this,
Mm-hmm.
about how the kind of preparations people are making. Because I was listening to Timothy Snyder, and he was talking
Mm-hmm.
about this, and then I was listening to I think was it on Chris Hayes or something, and they were talking about how Chuck Schumer has formed this task force
Mm-hmm.
to kind of, and they have to have contingency plans for
Mm-hmm.
anything that they try to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we're preparing for, and he brought up all these different scenarios
Mm-hmm.
that could happen,
Right.
and they're pretty scary. But at
Yeah.
least they're looking at them and they're saying, "Here's what we'll do if this happens. Here's what we'll do if this happens."
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should talk about that some more.
Yeah. Well, we will. We are kind of at the end of it today. But you wanted me to play us out. Is this President Obama speaking?
This is President Obama. Tomorrow his library opens on Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
So, not tomorrow, Friday.
On
So
Friday, tomorrow
on Friday,
to special people, the
and
insiders.
tomorrow,
Yes.
yes, there's lots of special. So tomorrow we're going to have I think a look back. I think we should do a little bit of a look back and just
Mm-hmm.
and also talk show some stuff from the library that they put out.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought this would be he was at the library,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he was up there with Michelle Obama, but it was
Yes,
really,
he is.
yeah. So anyway, so he made this little speech,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, it's just instead of a Iran Lego video
Yeah,
today.
so we're gonna play out with this feel good and
Yeah.
calming video.
Mm,
Which we all need. So
we
anyway, everybody get over to our YouTube channel and
smash the button.
smash the button. And please ring the bell, put it in your notifications. So anytime one of our videos drops, you will get notified. And also please go over to our Patreon page. And if you can, buy us a cup of coffee, but you don't need to, just be a part of the community. And love you all. And we will see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And her husband, Fraser Robinson, who got up every day and went down to right next to Navy Pier, working as a, in the water reclamation district. He showed what it means to work hard and to put family first. And so they represent, to me, what's best about this country and what's best about our values. And the people who aren't trying to get every last nickel and aren't cutting corners when it comes to values and treat people high and low with respect and kindness and handle their business. Just salt of the earth, bedrock people. And there are people like that all across the south side of Chicago. And there are people like that all across this great country of ours. And their voices are not heard because we've got a set of institutions that have fallen victim to the siren song of everything's about money and everything's about attention and everything's about fame and everything's about getting over. But meanwhile, there are just a lot of people out here who are just doing the right thing and raising their families and taking care of people. And so it's fitting that she's with us here today, because part of what we want this center to be is a reminder of those people. And to make sure this country is true to their spirit. Because if we do that, then I think we're going to be okay. And I want our kids to be reminded of that, and our grandkids. And 50 years from now, I want people to remember that's what we should be about.